Hi everybody, this is Bob Young coming to you from Redline Archaeology. As you can see, I'm all flyered up. Flyers start the playoffs tonight against the Canadians, so go Flyboys. But what I'm really here to do is to unveil a collection I just picked up. I just discovered out of Glen Carbon, Illinois. It's an original one-owner collection, 41 cars in total, and the gentleman that I got it off of reached out to me from a recent article that was just written out of The Hustle, which is this online, I don't know if you call it news group or publication, but they do all kinds of lifestyle stories, finance, sports, just about everything. I'd never heard of it before, but if you go to thehustle.com, you can sign up for their daily newsletters, and some really neat stories. They just did a big one on San Diego Comic-Con and some other things, but they cover a wide variety of things. And when the journalist reached out to me a couple weeks ago, he lives in California, and they also interviewed a couple other collector friends of mine, Bruce Pascal and Mike Zarnock. So it's an interesting article. You can go to thehustle.com and read all about it, or go to the Redline Archaeology website or the Redline Archaeology Facebook page. They're both posted there. On the Redline Archaeology website, it's posted as one of my blogs, the whole article. But it's interesting, you know, not too in-depth, easy type of read, and fun if you're a Redline enthusiast like myself. But so here we go. This is how it was packed, as you can see. That's how I normally get it. I always ask individuals when I purchase collections from them to please wrap each individual car in tissue with a piece of tape to hold it, so they don't get all chipped up and nicked up, whether it's in the case or outside. This time, since there's 41 cars, 24 in the case and 17 out of the case. So what I'll do is I'll start with the ones on the top first. And from what I remember of this collection, there was a lot of cars in really nice condition that, through the high definition pictures that I got, seemed to be pretty much unplayed with. And here's a perfect example. Here's a green Woody, as you can see. I'll try to hold it up to get it under the light for everybody so they can see it. I always start with the wheels when I start to evaluate a car, so I can get a better idea whether the car was run down the track. Now, if you buy collections from collectors, which I do not, collectors do swap wheels out to make their cars look better. But original collections, for the most part, people wouldn't even know how to swap a wheel out, or wouldn't even understand why. So that's why I trust when I do the background and get the provenance on these cars. I always look at the wheels first to see how much play wear they have, because if they're run down the track, some of the chrome will be gone. If they're in the case getting slammed around a lot or moved a lot, sometimes that'll affect the chrome as well. But typically, if they're unplayed with, you won't have a whole bunch of loss of chrome. So I'm just trying to get these lights positioned in a way that you can better see it. So here's a really nice orange Demon. Orange is a very tough color, I think, in any Redline. This is one of my favorite castings, and again, look at the chrome on the wheels and look at the base. I mean, these cars barely touched or run down the track. Just a beautiful pieces in this collection. So take a look at this. I usually do this sitting down, and I'll try to, as we move forward, maybe I'll move the camera up a little bit to get closer and get these under better light. But here looks like an antifreeze. Yep, it's an antifreeze, because you can tell the parts that aren't toned out in this to be more antifreeze than lime green. Antifreeze, when I first started collecting, I couldn't really distinguish. I always thought the lime greens were antifreeze, but as you can see, antifreeze has a very milky look to it. I don't know if you can see that here, but it's got a very milky, whereas the lime greens and lime yellows, people will call them, have the shiny spectraflame look to them. Okay, so there's a nice white interior. antifreeze custom Camaro, Corvette. Okay, let's see what we got up next here. Okay, so it looks like we got the McLaren M6A, nice red wheels, really nice. Looks like it was run down the track a few times. Nice shiny paint, nice base. There's another nice example. And back this up or turn this so you guys can see them as I add them. Okay, all right. So let's see. Next up, see what we got here. Like I said, I remember from talking to this gentleman and discussing the collection with him and seeing the pictures first, that it was a really nice, pretty much unplayed with collection. There's a lighter blue in the Torero. Again, the wheels, as you can see, not real messed up or anything or missing chrome. This base is a little bit dull, but still nice piece. Cool casting. Obviously a very common casting, the Torero, but you know, a little bit lighter blue. I don't know if I'd call that light blue, but maybe. You know, everyone's got their own opinion in this hobby, and I know collectors that do argue about colors and, you know, their opinions, but here's a nice lighter blue 57 bird, as you can see. Again, the wheels, see those wheels? Not much wear. Really nice base as well. And there she is. Another pretty piece. People always ask me to sell the cars. I don't deal, you know, on eBay or on the sites or anything like that. You know, sometimes people have sold cars for me over the years on some auctions. Jackrabbit Special white interior. Again, you know, some wear on the wheels, but not a whole bunch. But I'm open to trades. But if I'm going to trade you a really nice Redline, I want a really nice Redline back of equal value. I won't do one Redline for like 10 commons or anything like that. If I have a piece worth $100 and I would want another piece in similar condition worth approximately the same amount, I like to do one-to-one trades. So if you are going to email me or message me, that's how I approach the whole thing. Now here is an antifreeze VW, but it is toned out with that blotchy dark toning on the sides. Now the back looks good, the top isn't too bad, but the sides, you know, not atypical 1968 casting antifreeze VW. Not bad, not chipped up or anything, but you know, if some what we call in the hobby peppering on the roof from age, but still a decent piece in most people's collections, I would say. For me, my collection is only about 100, 150 of the nicest condition cars that I've found over the years. I kind of take the beauties, all the real beauties. Not that the rest of them aren't beautiful, but I don't like to have too many cars to worry about per se. Now here's a purple one. Now this has some chips scattered throughout. Really nice purple color on this Python, but as you can see, the wheels are still nice. The base is dull, so I don't know if this got slammed around the case or whatever, but there are some, you know, some scattered chips on it, but really a nice example, nice shiny purple of the Python. That's one of my favorite castings as well. Just love that car. I had a red one, a darker red one, you know, obviously with the black roof as a kid. One of the first ones that my parents bought me way back when. Here's a nice orange 57 bird. Again, orange for me is rare in any car, any casting. The wheels are just beautiful, nice base on it, as you can see. Nice and shiny. There's the wheels. And these cars, according to the gentleman I bought them off of, were from his childhood, and they have been in the attic for obviously about 50 years. 50 plus years, some of them. So this is really the first time that the public has seen these cars other than him and his family back in the day. So pretty special day in the Redline world anyway. Here's a beautiful, just an absolutely stunner aqua white interior, like my Firebird number 9 on the side. I mean, I don't see anything wrong with this one. Maybe you do. I can't. But there's a nice base on it too. Just a beautiful color on a cool casting with a white interior. Doesn't get much better than this in the Redline world, in my opinion, anyway. So here we go, next one up. When I get these collections, it's like waking up on Christmas morning. Now I have 3 more coming in tomorrow. It's been an unbelievable week. And that article that was written on 3 collectors in the hobby, and I know I've spoken to Bruce over the last week. He's gotten some collections as well from the hobby. People have called him. I think it's great. I think people like Bruce and I that go after these collections really bring a lot, out in the hobby. Me, I put a lot of them out in the collector's world, for everyone like yourselves to enjoy and get them out there. I mean, if I would have kept all the cars I've come across over the last 30 years, which is probably north of 10 to 15,000 cars, I mean, I would need a warehouse like Bruce to display them. But like I said, my collection only numbers about 100 to 150. And I just keep what I really like, and I keep the stuff that is what I call blister pack fresh. I don't think there's a rating of mint. I don't believe in it. I think every car that even comes off the factory line has imperfections. So I like to call them blister pack fresh or off the factory line. It's a nice orange. Now orange, this was common in this casting as well as the VW and the 36 Coupe. Okay, also some of the Grand Prix were mass produced in orange as well, in my opinion. But this is the one that you find in orange, like the VW and the Coupe most. But the other cars, I don't know. I just don't find a lot of oranges across the board. Put that right here. And we'll see how many oranges we get today. Right now we got 3, and that's a lot. For me, that's almost 10% of this collection, which I probably say typically I only get maybe 1 car, 2 in the larger collections that are orange, and a lot of times are the 36 Coupes or the VWs. Now here is another. Now this is not antifreeze. This is like the lime yellow. I don't know if you can tell, but antifreeze has that milky look to it. Here's a white interior custom Eldo. Obviously not run down the track, and you can tell that by nothing being bumped in the back, any chips in the front, or the wheels, right? And on the roof, if I look on the roof, when I evaluate cars, I go from wheels, front to back to see if they slammed into walls or cars in front of them, cars in the back slamming into the back of them, and then the roof for the rod runner. If they ran through the rod runner a lot, you'll see wear. And the wear typically starts on the front of the roof and works its way back. Now there's a nice white interior, custom Eldo, that I think most people would be happy to have in their collection. A nice lime yellow, okay? So I'll put the antifreezes together. But like I said, I have a whole different approach to evaluating cars, appraising them. I've done this so many times over 30 years, and it's like practice in medicine. That's why we call it practice in medicine. None of us truly ever get it right completely. That's why we have to practice every day. That's why, professional athletes and athletes have to practice to get better. And to me, there is an art to this as well. That's why, this is a practice for me. I have to practice to continually hone my skills and knowledge on this. And as we all know, there's one of the shinier bases that have come through here on this 280 SL. Again, the wheels, the front and back are all fine. Not run down the track. Now the roof has a little bit of wear right on the front edges there. So probably maybe it ran through the rod runner a couple times. Who knows? But still a nice piece. I think most people would be happy to have in their collection. But, it's just, I probably do things a lot different than most people. Some people probably go a lot more in depth when they appraise and evaluate than I do with the magnifying glasses and everything. I don't take that approach. Here's a nice gold turbo fire. Really pretty car. Cool casting concept. But like you can see, none of the orange chipped off in the back. The front doesn't have any wear, and the wheels are great. And the base, a little bit toned, but not bad. But nice, pretty turbo fire. Nice shiny gold. Okay, let's see what our next little surprise is that Santa of the Redline world has left me today. All right, it's a Mustang. So as you can see, you have wear on the wheels, okay? You can see both. Then you got on the fronts and back, there are some wear. I don't know if you can pick that up here. And on the roof, obviously this probably went through the rod runner, as you've got some wear. But these are the things I start out my appraisals. The rest of the car looks nice. There's no toning, there's no peppering, as I call it, from age. The rest of it's good. And, you know, Mustang's toned out base. But, you know, remember, this car's 52 years old right now. So, you know, these things age like we do. You know, we're not wine. We don't get better with age, that's for sure. Here's a beautiful Nomad. I mean, just stunning magenta, shiny. Somebody took the time to put all the flower stickers, which I think is cool, like when you put these on the Beach Bombs or the Nomads. But again, wheels are basically perfect, shiny, nice shiny base. My friend Todd Deshane, who I spent many years collecting with, used to always say I could shave in that base. And that's basically, that's a Todd shaving base right there. That means it's really shiny like a mirror, but just a stunningly beautiful piece. You know, I really think the flower stickers add to the value of a car like that. I think it's a very unique thing to do. Okay. Well, this guy's name was Bill, and obviously as a 8 to 10 year old or whatever it was, he took the time to, you know, mark down as he got the cars, which a lot of kids back in the day did. So here's a nice red enamel, okay. Ford Mark IV, base is a little toned, yeah, but the paint's good. Looks like it was played with a little bit of wear on the high points of the two front wheels, but really nice piece, nice red enamel. Good thing is he didn't put tape on these, which is good. Now this is lime green or lime yellow, okay? So we got another McLaren, a little bit of a dull base, number 4 sticker, but really nice throughout. Doesn't look like it was played much at all. The fronts and backs, there's no chips or anything. Just a beautiful, beautiful piece. Okay, really cool casting. Love the McLaren M6As. Okay, here we go with the Shelby. It's got a little bit of a dull base. Again, the wheels are, you know, blister pack fresh, as I like to say. A really nice piece. Nice shiny blue paint. Grand Prix are just such cool cars, I think. Really neat cars. My friend Kirk just loves the Grand Prix. And I know he's probably watching this now laughing, but every time I get Grand Prix in collections, I know that's the first ones he's looking at. Here's a common car. A nice green split image. A couple chips up front, not much. Doesn't look like any wear in the back. You got some wear on the front wheels, but maybe that was from, it's a wider car that was, you know, in the case all these years, so probably was leaning up against the side of the case and you got a little wear from it. Okay, let's see what we got here. Yeah, I was going to say it's going to be a Grand Prix. Now this is a red Grand Prix, okay. Brabham Repco F1. You see the base there, shiny. Same thing, wheels are really nice. Doesn't look like, even the chrome on the back is really nice. Just a really nice example of this car. Put that right there, behind its brother. Jackrabbit Special. I can't see anything wrong with this. Maybe a little factory stuff in the front striping. Wheels great, same thing. Just pretty much unplayed with. Remember, I told you that I've got 3 more collections coming in tomorrow. I actually have to go in to the city and meet a gentleman for a collection, and then I have 2 coming in from California. And all 3 of these collections are pretty much similar condition. Only a few cars played with. Here's one. It's missing the back roof, the old Lola GT 70. But, you know, that happens. That was probably played with a little bit because the front has a little bit of wear on it. But we'll put that here. That's a donor car unless someone has a rear hatch, you know, that wants it from me. And, you know, here's a 4J car in green. No nips, maybe a little bit of corrosion on here. Might be able to be wiped off, but a really nice example of the 4J. Okay, we're getting down to the last 16, it looks like here. And this one's fighting me getting out of here. But here's a beautiful purple twin mill. You know, looks like the stickers were applied and then it was plopped right back into the case. But just a pretty car. And I have taken these stickers off. You use a little bit of warm water. You take your time. You try not to peel it. You kind of have to move it off with your fingernail gently. I've done that many times and it comes up good. But you know what? Some people like to see it, and that's kind of cool the way that sits with it going right down the middle of it. A white stripe like that. I think that adds to the car. So I probably just leave that one on there like that. Here's one of the first cars I received as a kid too. This looks like a lime yellow silhouette to me. Again, it doesn't even look like it was run down the track. Nice white interior to it. Really pops. This is one of my earliest memory cars. The Camaro with the black roof, the red Python, all my earliest memories. You know, some of the best. I think that's why I'm such a car nut now, these days. All because of Mattel and what they did with this line. Another beautiful silhouette. Whoop. I almost took some value off of that one. But nice purple color, you know, white interior. Same thing. I think I'd swap out a couple wheels on this with some of my donor cars and, you know, really make that a nice piece. So, getting down to the last dozen here. This is what I call Rose, a Rose twin mill. Really nice, beautiful condition, like most of the others. But really, really pretty color. You don't see a lot of twin mills in that color. And when you do find them, it's really nice to find them, you know, other than the common colors. Here's a beautiful, beautiful, looks like antifreeze to me. Very milky antifreeze. Vicky, 36 Vicky, or 32 Vicky, I'm sorry. Yeah. So you can see the base, a little bit dull, but just another beautiful example of a car that has survived all these years. All right, this car is giving me a little trouble here getting out. Let's see who this bugger is. Let's see. One that takes up, oh, no surfboard, lime green Dior. So again, just toned out, but surfboards, just add them and you got yourself a decent piece here. Let's see what this one is. Oh, another Vicky, Olive Vicky. Again, really nice condition. Beautiful, both sides. Let's see if I can put this over here, get a little more light on it. But another nice example. Put that right behind his sister. Wasn't for this little Fuge mark up here on the front, that'd be a really beautiful Python. But, you know, time is not kind to all cars, but really nice blue color. Really pretty. Great color in that casting, I think. And there's the base, nice base. I'll put that one over here. Clear my space a little bit. I'm getting down to the last 8 cars here. There's an antifreeze silhouette. I don't know if you can see that. It's very milky. Might be coming up shiny here just due to the lighting, but really, really nice. If I put them side by side, I don't know if you'll be able to see this. Maybe I can get a close-up after I unwrap them all, but you can definitely tell that there is a difference there. So Again, this collection came out of Glen Carbon, Illinois. The original one owner. There's a purple beatnik bandit. When you get the bandits like this and the silhouettes, you always look at the domes as well to see if there's any play wear, because a lot of times they'll be scuffed up or scratched up. That will lend itself to tell you how many times it's been run down the track or through the rod runner or hit. But another beautiful example. Very cool Ed Roth designed car. Oh, this feels like a chaparral. Yep. Nice white enamel chaparral. Beautiful, beautiful example. I think there's couple small chips on the left fender, right up front. But another beautiful car. Oh, tow truck, and one of my favorite colors in purple. Just a beautiful white interior, beautiful, beautiful example of this car. A lot of times you'll see a rust on the metal hook in the back, and this one doesn't seem to have any. Nice shiny base as well. Just a beautiful, beautiful car. And this one will probably go in my collection because of the purple and the white interior and the condition of it. Oh, it does have some, sorry, low high edge wear above the driver's side, so that probably won't make my collection. Paddy wagon, probably the most common casting, so if I'm going to drop any of them, that's probably the one I should drop. But really nice condition. Oh, this one does not want to stay in my hands. Don't worry, nothing else got chipped up. All right, there's a paddy wagon. See, when stuff like that happens on a live video like this, you know, it just adds character and a little extra salt and flavor to the video. There's a nice, beautiful white interior antifreeze Mustang. This is one of my first cars as well. Just a really nice example of this car. Real shiny. Looks like the hood is a little bit darker than the rest of the body, but not much, very slightly, but that's typical with this color and this casting from that year. Okay, two more cars out of this 24 car flat case. Looks like we've got, see, now this is an interesting piece here. To me, this would be a light spray red. Other people would argue that it's more of a burnt orange color. But when I look at these cars, and I got a King Cuda in blister with a black roof and the white interior, that was kind of like the holy grail of that casting a couple years ago, and I actually traded it as part of for my one of my 69 store displays. Very valuable piece it was. But we were trying to figure out the color because it was evenly toned from the time, because the paint back then that came out of Hong Kong wasn't the greatest, but I always look around the engine. Typically that'll tell you the color of the car. Now this, and I don't know if you can pick this up, but around the engine is orange. It's a brighter orange color. So the rest of the car was that at one time, but over time it's really changed. I just don't know if you can see that with the reflection. But always look around the engine, because that'll tell you the true color of the car. Some people say this is red, but a lot of people say burnt orange. So you're closer if you say burnt orange, but it's an evenly toned orange car that probably had a very light Hong Kong spray to it. But again, you know, you put an extra wheel on it with better chrome. The stripes aren't all beat up from going through the rod runner. It's a really nice display piece. So I'll put that here next to Light My Firebird. Okay. So we had the Barracuda that had a lot of play wear. It's probably the most played with car, I'd say, in the entire grouping here. Would be the Barracuda, the Aqua Barracuda. And then just the beautiful, beautiful purple 36 coupe. So that's basically going to do it. Listen, be sure to like this video and subscribe. I'm going to be posting many more videos coming up. If you haven't picked up a copy of my book yet, it still ranks in the top 100 in its category on Amazon. I think it's an interesting read. I mean, I lived it, but it's not just about collections I scored. It's about how I do it. I revealed my secrets in there. There's lots of pictures of some very rare and interesting stuff from Mattel employee collection I picked up out of Tucson, Arizona. And I do have a big announcement coming up too, probably early next week. I'm making another huge announcement in the Redline archaeology world of what's coming up in the future. But I will have a few more of these videos coming right after this one when I get the other collections in tomorrow. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll give you one final pass through here. Let me see if I can get the lighting on it a little bit better for you so you can see all the cars and the case. Okay, everybody. This is Bob Young signing off. Go Flyers, and until next time, remember, it's not just about the hunt, it's about the capture, and that's the capture. Happy hunting, happy capturing. I hope you all can get the feeling that I get on a fairly regular basis by scoring these wonderful, wonderful pieces of art that Mattel produced over 50 years ago. It's so much fun digging this stuff out of attics, basements, storage, and you know, just be honest with people. Read my book. I talk all about it, and what I pay for these collections, and I give you all the tools you need to do what I do. Okay, you all take care and have a great day.